Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Red Embrace Hollywood LP. I'm actually thinking that this is going to be weird. I'm going to be doing parts for this LP just because I have such a limited time to record anything. And every recording session that I've been editing so far has actually been into a part and not like two parts or anything like that. So make sure to check out this game, buy it, support the devs. All those links are in the description. Let's get into this. July Company Parking Garage closing October 8th. How many Octobers ago, I wondered. Judging from the litter and grime all around the sign, probably quite a few had passed. Well, it didn't matter. This was the place. A bored-looking thud stood by the entrance, obviously stationed as a guard. My first trial, by the looks of it. Putting on a confident expression, I strode up to him, clearing my throat. Place is closed. Go dig around somewhere else. He barked a few short words at me before I could open my mouth. I'm one of the goals of the meeting here tonight. Please let me in. If you don't let me into the meeting, you're gonna be in deep shit later. Pick. I don't know what to pick. None of these are what I would pick. You won't buy this. If you don't let me into the meeting, you're gonna be in deep shit later. Oh yeah? I don't remember Randall saying anything about waiting for someone. Okay, you got me, but I really need to get inside. Uh-huh. You can keep asking all night, but I'm not gonna risk my ass for you. Even if I promised you something later. Or, what a shame, I figured you were the type of guy who liked cash. Oh, we're going to the cash route again. Yes, we're going to the cash route. Cash? He paused, a greedy light flickering in his eyes. Alright. How much cash are we talking about here? Poke it over and I'll say, you got passed when I wasn't looking. Hand over the money or motion him closer than punches out. You know what? Hand over the money. Yeah, baby. I handed him everything left in my wallet, which was apparently enough to buy me the backstage pass I needed. With any luck, I could get the money back from Charisse later. A legitimate business expense. Well, what the hell are you waiting for? Get your ass inside before I change my mind. The guard stepped aside and I didn't waste any time hurrying into the garage. I was lucky they only had muscle and not brains in front of their entrance. After darting down a few levels of the garage at top speed, I finally arrived. Loud whispers and rowdy laughter made it sound like the meeting hadn't started yet. I was just in time. The two groups standing across from each other were pretty clear-cut, and I could easily tell which house was which. One was full of rough types, probably gangsters and punks in life. Tattoos, leather jackets, piercings, and wild eyes were everywhere. The other group, interestingly enough, looked like the complete opposite. Eccentric outfits, soft murmurs, and a large amount of eerie smiles. Alright, let's cut the bullshit and talk conditions. I should point out, still a little sick, I don't have water. I'm gonna get water. A deep voice suddenly boomed through the garage, making everyone fall silent. What if I just put in the sound effect instead of me saying that? Moments later, a tall, muscular vampire pushed his way to the front of the Mavar group. Mavar. I don't know, I didn't look up how pronunciations work. The sheer force of his presence made it instantly clear who he was. I only agreed to this meeting because I hate those Iskari bastards more than I hate you. I'm guessing it's mutual. If you want a truce, there'd better be something to sweeten the deal. I don't think these guys here will settle for anything less. Yeah! Hell yeah, don't let him weasel out, Randall. Cheers of approval rang out from the rowdy group behind him. Why, of course, Mr. Randall. We wouldn't dream of offering anything but the fairest of terms for our Mavari brethren. One of the Golgotha vampires stepped forward, his sing-song voice tinged with a British accent. Fuck you, slimy bastard. We know what your game is. Snarls and jeering instantly wrestled among the Mavari in response. Fairest, sure. You bastards would cheat a blind guy at dice if he could get away with it. So what are you gonna try to sell us? Fortune-telling services? Voodoo magic? We're gonna need something realer than empty promises. That's him laughing, right? I don't, The Golgotha vampire let out a smug chuckle, like he had a hidden trump card ready. I didn't like the sound of that. If I had to crash and burn this meeting, then I'd have to do something now, before they worked out a deal. Call out to them, or rush up to Randall. I'm imagining Antonio just rushing up with Randall with the knife out. What do you have there? A knife! No! It's in my head. It's been in my head since the demo. And I just never said anything. I love that idea. It's stuck in my head. Rush up to Randall. Whoa. Hey, watch where you're... Pushing through the crowd of Mavar, I bolted up to Randall as fast as I could. I pulled out his knife and held it in my palms, trying to keep my face from revealing anything. Whoa, whoa, what the hell are you doing, kid? He glared at me, shocked and suspicious. And I realized that if I couldn't convince him, the accusing look might just be the last thing I'd ever see. Boss, I found this on one of their guys, or... I hate to interrupt, but is this knife yours? Let's play into it? Let's play into it. Boss, I found this on one of their guys. This? Kid, I don't know what you're... What the... Cutting off mid-sentence, Randall glanced down at the knife in my hands. Then his eyes slid back up to mine, meeting my gaze wordlessly for a few moments. I know you know that I'm faking this, but you know, play into it. You got this from a Golgotha, one of the crazy guys. Who else? Play into it? Is this playing into it? I don't know. He took a deep breath. Those mother... They stole it from me? Holy hell. Excuse me? Mr. Randall, would you mind explaining what's going on? The leader of the Golgotha group called over to us, clearly confused. Damn it, I can't deal with this shit right now. Mr. Randall, awfully sorry to interrupt, but we'd really like to present our Get the fuck out of here. All of you bastards, meeting's fucking cancelled. Randall's angry command echoed through the garage, loud enough to make a few vampires wince. And you guys, make sure those motherfuckers scurry back to their rat holes. Whoa, my throat made a funny noise. He addressed his own group with a low growl, which was met with hurried nods and eager knuckle cracking. I'll meet you outside in a little while. Go on, get going. Alright, you heard the man. Come on, let's go. Within seconds, the garage turned into a chaotic mess of Golgotha vampires bending off Mavar, who pushed and shoved them to the exit. It was easy to tell how much Randall's group was hungry for a fight, but the Golgotha vampires stayed placid. Like they refused to give the Mavar what they wanted. I can't help but wonder if they knew this would happen, and they're just like, God, accept it if you want this to move forward. The confusion and shouting went on for a few hectic minutes, but eventually the garage emptied, leaving behind only Randall and me. Oh, whoa. I love his everything, too. I like Marcus, because it's Marcus. He's mysterious, I guess, and that appeals to me a little bit. He's everything just appeals to me. He's just like, everything about him is like, oof, not good. But Randall is more of a like, someone I would actually be friends with. Man, you have some balls. After a long moment of silence, Randall let out a long, tired sigh, finally turning his attention back to me. That was supposed to be a trick, right? You were trying to turn me against the ghouls. Not gonna lie, it was a pretty shitty attempt, even if you did bring the knife as a bargaining chip. There's no way they'd be that careless with it. Let me guess. Queen Bitch sent you, didn't she? You mean Charisse? Or who are you talking about? Or, no, your mother and I haven't spoken in years. No, I'm not that kind of person. I can't be mean, it's so bad. No. What are you talking about? Do I play dumb? Is this me playing dumb? Or like me actually asking? Trying to be suave. I think the middle options tend to be a little suave, probably. You mean Charisse? Who the hell else? Ugh, fucking Charisse figures. She must have known I'd see through this. It's too obvious. What the hell is she aiming for? It's Kari and their mind games, damn it. Randall growled deep in his throat, fangs bared like a wild animal. God, I don't know what I like about Randall. He just... Okay, after this conversation, like after you get to talk to him, I like him a lot. Like at first I was like, eh, but then you get through this whole conversation and I'm just like, fuck yeah, Randall. I love you. But his rage didn't seem focused on me, much to my surprise. He was still holding a knife too, so I considered myself lucky. Ugh. Finally let out a groan, most of his anger on his face fading into annoyance. Probably good we didn't bargain with those freaks anyway. They were up to something, just like always. But you. I've never seen your face before, and I've seen just about every vampire in LA. And since you were sent on a suicide mission, it doesn't take a whole lot of detective work to see that you're new. Cannon fodder. Kicked out to die. What's your name anyway? It's Antonio. What should I tell you? Should we be defensive? Like, why should I tell you? a weak like karate hand movement. Oh god. I'm fine. God, this all depends on like, okay, how are we? What's stats? Reserved. Determined. Since we're like more on the reserved, probably be a little defensive. Although we can be very diplomatic. It's like, why should I tell you? You already know mine. Do me the goddamn courtesy do me the goddamn courtesy of saying yours. Okay, I'm sorry. Call me Antonio. Cool it, big boy. It's Antonio since you want to know so badly. It's not. We're not that suave. Okay, I'm sorry. Call me Antonio. Antonio, huh? Well, Antonio, way to make a fucking entrance. He doesn't sound quite as pissed as I figured he'd be. I should probably tear you up for pulling that shit on us, but man, I guess you didn't get much of a choice. Ugh, that's just like me, bitch. Taking a newbie and throwing him out to the sharks. But there's not a whole lot I can do for you, not with her on high alert. This Kari still have the most power in LA right now, so if Charisse wanted you dead, well, you'd be dead. She'd find you no matter where you tried to hide out. Take you in right now, well, you'd be too much of a risk, and I gotta look out for me and my group. His shoulders raised in a hapless shrug, one hand scratching at the back of his head. He really did sound apologetic, even though he didn't necessarily have any reason to be. I love him, he's so sweet. He's like, he wants to help. He wants to help, and it's just like he can't because he has to look out for his own people that he knows, while he can't really take in like a stranger, especially with, like, again, we have that danger with us that Charisse can come after us, and if he takes us in, they'll come after him. Well, Charisse wanted a truce with you eventually. Would you agree to one? Or, so how do you feel about working with this Kari? Let's go with the first one, because that makes more sense, where it's more like diplomatic-y, I guess? I don't know. We're playing that way. Well, Charisse wanted a truce with you eventually. Would you agree to one? What? She says you're the leader of a Mabar and wants to be allies. For some godforsaken reason, she thinks you'd be good to work with. No. She says you're the leader of the Mabar and wants to be allies. Ha! A choked laugh of disbelief erupted from his throat. If he reacted like that to just a mention of an alliance, it probably didn't bode well for Charisse. That's the dumbest thing I've heard all month. And I just read a magazine ad trying to tell me my dick wasn't big enough. Sure, these guys look up to me, but I'm not their leader. They have no leader. That's kind of the fucking point. I told her that 100 goddamn times, too. Hard concept for a dolled-up fascist to grasp, I guess. He muttered his last words spitefully, branding a stray piece of gravel underneath his foot. Boot. Under his boot. You sounded like a leader earlier. Are you sure you're not deluding yourself? Yeah, I think Charisse might have been pals with Stalin. Deluding. Imposing a misbelief upon someone. Deceive, fool. Mislead. Are you sure not your... yeah, I would pick the middle one. Are you sure you're not, like, giving yourself enough credit? Would it be? Are you sure you're not just deluding yourself? Sorry. Kid, you better watch that mouth of yours. I'm a laid-back guy, but some of the others around here, talk to them like that and you'll get second death before you know what hit you. Christ. can't believe Queen Bitch thinks I'll work under her. Every Ascari's always out to use or kill you for power. That's just how it goes. They say they're all about beauty and peace and words over fighting, but it's all a fucking sham. One big bunch of snakes. Well, so I either keep silent, someone sounds a little jealous, or I'm an Ascari actually. Let's be up front and be like, thanks dude for putting me in a box, but you're not wrong. Except I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm an Ascari actually. So surprised. Aw shit. You are, aren't you? Abruptly stiffening, Randall stared at me for a few seconds. His fingers curled into a fist, knuckles turning white. I'm sorry, don't punch me, oh god. But before long he let out a pained sigh. If I didn't have a soft spot for newbies, I'd be real tempted to crack you open right here. But I won't. Thanks. Dude. My point still stands. Ascari will fuck you over no matter what, even if you're part of the same house. And these Golgotha creeps, they're all wrapped up in shit, I don't know, conspiracy theories or weird prophecies or something. Except for Marcus, anyway. Marcus is the best ghoul I know around here. Marcus is amazing, weird sunglasses and all, or yeah, I can't understand anything he says, it's great. Or Marcus, yes, we've met. Or I ran into him once and I think that's plenty for me. The thing is, I'm weak, and I think he's cool. He's amazing! Oh, he is. Yeah, Marcus is amazing, weird glasses and all. Right? I've got no idea why the fuck he wears those things, but hey, it's a free country. Marcus, man. I used to hate his guts, since he always played nice with Queen Bitch. Not to mention that slow, preachy way he talks. But then, when I shut up and actually listened to what he says, I realized he's got it all figured out. The politics, the mind games, everything. Randall paused, shaking his head in bemused awe. He didn't seem like the type of guy who'd respect just anyone, so the fact that he thought so highly of Marcus must have really meant something. That guy could be the king of Los Angeles if he wanted to. Hell, probably the whole world. But instead he just hangs out in his porn store and sells giant rubber dicks. Yep. Really makes you think, doesn't it? I can't. I'm gonna start coughing. Randall clutches his stomach, doubling over as if he just cracked the best joke of the century. And that leaves your house. Mavar, right? Or, my house is full of scumbags, the Golgotha are crazy, what's wrong with Mavar? That's so negative, what's not? And that leaves your house. Mavar, right? You got it. Not a whole lot to say about us, really. Mavar don't complicate shit. We just don't stand for unfair rules. The Queen Bitch is full of them. Vampires should be able to do whatever the hell they want. No murder sprees and no revealing your nature in public. Aside from that, we like to live our own lives as we damn well please. Usually on the wilder side. Got a problem with another vampire? Face them head on. No politics. That's just for Ascari. We're beasts after all, and Mavar don't hide from that. We embrace it. Interesting. Dangerous, but interesting. Or, sounds a little barbaric. Or, so being a vampire is an excuse to ignore law and order. I don't like any of them. Besides this one, but I feel like that's going to be taken very negative. This one's more interesting. Dangerous, but interesting. No more dangerous than Ascari scheming or Golgotha mind games. We don't dance around shit. And that's how it should be. If you slap rules onto a world as dangerous as ours, you're gonna have a problem. Trying to make crazy, powerful creatures all play nice with each other is a recipe for fucking disaster. Lying, murder, theft. It's a piece of cake for us. Ah, whatever. You'll understand one day. Love him. With a weary smile, Randall reaches out to clamp one large hand on my shoulder, squeezing it roughly. Alright, kid. It's been fun, but I need to make sure the others aren't running down goals in the street or anything else too crazy. I'm usually at the beach with my crew, so if you ever decide to hop onto the winning team... He trailed off and clicked his tongue playfully, winking at me. Thanks, Randall. Or maybe if I get really, really bored. Oh my god. His ideals don't match up with what I actually want to do in the first round. We'll see we'll see when we get there. I'm gonna get to that decision sometime, this part. Thanks, Randall. Nah, no need to thank me. We were all newbies once. I do my best to remember that. Oh, God. And with that, we parted ways. I left the parking garage with a slightly clearer picture of the world I've been tossed into, thanks to Randall. Luckily, the guard at the entrance was gone, so I avoided another awkward encounter. Maybe Randall could explain things to him later. The whole mess had worked out, somehow, although I had to wonder how much was just beginner's luck, since most of it seemed too convenient to be true. We back here. I arrived at the hotel with an overwhelming sense of relief, making my way back to the meeting room from last night. As it turned out, Charisse and Heath were already waiting for me. Welcome back, Antonio. We already heard about the little mess you caused at the parking garage. Word travels fast. Heath's airy voice rang with pride, and he offered me an encouraging smile. Yes, you've done quite an impressive job. Your performance clearly surpassed my expectations. Thanks. Unsurprisingly, Charisse didn't match Heath's smile, but she did offer me a sharp nod. It was a piece of cake, or... Yeah, but... Or... You tricked me, you complete bit. Yeah, but... Before we go any further, let me clear the air. I predicted that Randall would see through the knife deception. However, you accomplished a twofold task, perhaps without realizing it. You disrupted their truce discussions, at least for now, and you also made yourself known by name to Randall, who is a significantly powerful vampire. From the smug lit in her tone, I could tell Charisse was pretty pleased with the outcome of events. Did that mean my instincts were right? None of what happened back there was an accident. As I mentioned earlier, your naivete is assumed by everyone you meet. Even secretive, insular vampires will open up to you, simply because they want to win you to their cause. You should use this to your advantage while you still can. How do you say?
Ingratiate.
Ingratiate? Ingratiate yourself with those who believe you have no allegiances. Duly noted. I'm not as naive as you think I am. Or that seems kind of dishonest. Or, aren't you just trying to win me to your cause? I'm not as naive as you think I am. I'm totally naive. That seems kind of dishonest. On the contrary, there's nothing dishonest about it. Most vampires have their own self-interest at heart. If they're foolish enough to believe you're incapable of critical thought, then they deserve whatever they get. She sniffed pointedly, nudging her glasses back up with her nose. Nudging her glasses back up her nose. That matter aside, I have another task for you. It entails less conflict, but is of equal importance. Please go on. I'm listening, or keep silent. Please go on. Some of my contacts in South LA are unreachable tonight. I need to know why, but I can't spare any other associates to go find her. Things are very busy, you see. I imagine she's perfectly fine, as she often vanishes for a night or two to engage in frivolities, but I'd like to confirm the situation. Go to the area, track her down, and report back to me. Not too complicated, is it? Understood, I'll be back once I've found your contact. Or, fine, but I hope you make it worth my while. Understood, I'll be back once I've found your contact. Oh my god, I'm just totally just gonna go Heath's route. No, Randall. No. You know what? Heath. No, I don't know. Excellent. I have the greatest faith you'll carry out that promise. My calm response seemed to please Charisse, who peered at me contently from over her glasses. Very well, one last thing, Antonio, before you go. Yes, Miss Locke? What is it? Or keep silence. I don't want to call her that. No. What is it? I suggest you partner yourself with, or at least try to learn from, an older vampire. My agent here, Heath, is relatively new himself, but he may have some valuable insights on Hollywood to share with you. When Charisse mentioned his name, Heath perked up, his eyes sparkling curiously. Did I hear you compliment me just now, Charisse? I was merely stating the facts. She coolly replied to Heath without missing a beat. Oh. I see. Moving along. Marcus, too, possesses remarkable insight and knowledge, but as a Golgotha, he is also particularly eccentric, and his loyalties are unpredictable. Take everything he says with a grain of salt. And this may come as a surprise. If you decide to seek out Randall as a mentor, I won't stop you. I acknowledge the strength of his position, as well as his charisma and conviction. However, don't let yourself be swayed by his anarchist beliefs. The current war is proof of what happens when vampires eschew leadership. Chaos, paranoia, and bloodshed. Thanks for the advice, I'll choose carefully, or you make all of this sound pretty scary. Yes. You make all of this sound pretty scary. That's because it is. I would be doing you a disservice by leading you to believe otherwise. I also love her. Oh, no. Heath and I will be staying here to discuss affairs, but I expect you to report in the next few days, Antonio. She lifted an elegant hand, pointedly gesturing towards the door. Oh, Heath. Heath looked disappointed, flashing me an apologetic grimace when Charisse wasn't looking, but it seemed like he was stuck here for the moment. I took the hint and left, heading towards the elevator. A part of me wondered what affairs they were talking about, but eavesdropping probably wasn't worth the risk. My room welcomed me back with all its glamorous, lifeless shine. But as relieved and happy as I was to complete my trial, I felt incredibly restless and uneasy. There's this music again that I really, really like. Lifting the curtains with one hand, I gazed out the window, absorbing the vibrant cityscape before me. Yesterday it all felt like a dream. Today, reality was finally setting in. I was a vampire, chained to eternity. Trapped behind glass, separated from Hollywood life I've dreamed of, so close and forever unreachable. Like the cityscape, the dream would always glitter in the distance, a reminder of what I'd lost. No matter how strong I was, it still felt like my whole world had just plunged upside down, and I couldn't find anywhere to put my feet. Maybe I really do need a mentor to help me through this. Rules, etiquette, and powers. I could figure those out by myself given enough time. But that wasn't what I needed most. I needed a way to ground myself, to figure out what a vampire really meant, and who I was becoming. The three men Charisse mentioned seemed to know what they were doing, if nothing else. There was a good chance that one of them would help me discover my place in this new life. With that, I made up my mind. Tomorrow to go see... Yeah, I could stay from here. Oh god, I'm so conflicted. I don't know if I should choose between Heath or Randall. I already said I was gonna do Heath on my own. I just want to do Randall first because I just want to do Randall first. Even though I really, really want to do Heath. There's an innuendo there somewhere. You know what? I said Randall, and we're gonna do Randall. That is the plan. I will not be weak to Heath. Will I fail with Randall's route? Probably. Randall was the most casual, friendly vampire I'd met so far. Blunt and opinionated, maybe, but I had the sense he wouldn't try to manipulate me, unlike most others probably would. I didn't mind the fact that he was a Mavar. In fact, I found his hot-bloodedness intriguing in its own way. With any luck, Randall wouldn't mind helping me out, despite the rocky start we got off to. Then it's settled. Tomorrow I'll take a break from running Charisse's errands and go find Randall instead. That thought was only a small pillar in the whirlwind I've been thrown into, but I clung to it tightly as I could. A little excitement sparked through me as I shut the curtains, curling onto my bed to hide from the coming daylight. If this is what fate had in store for me, then so be it. I would fight and struggle to stay afloat in this world I've been thrown into, and no matter what, I wouldn't give up. Even if it meant I would never see another sunrise again. Yeah. Losing my voice real fast. I know you haven't noticed because I edited it all out. I was coughing a lot. That's where we're stopping it for this part, guys. Thank you for joining me. hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye. I'm really bad with doing endings. I never had to do outros. And now I do. Let's check out our stats. Reserved. Very diplomatic. I'm not sure if these stats will go good with Randall's route, but we'll see how it goes. Wish us luck. We're gonna need it.